Hello everyone, welcome to another mini talk with we're doing something here different. We're gonna try the Rolling Girls, and I have Skyline with me.
Hello, we are rolling, falling, and scrambling girls, aren't we?
Oh yeah, definitely gonna see what happens to this series. I mean, a lot of people I know first off kind of looked at it like it's too confusing, but I'm like I don't know. I think that's what the charming factor of the show. I think for me, that it is confusing. No
Yeah,
one knows what's going on.
it's one of those kind of shows that kind of reward you that if you're willing to just basically, like all speculative fiction or all fiction, it's just like, nudges you on the shoulder and says, hey, come on for the ride. You might not recognize what you're seeing, but it's going to be cool. It's going to be interesting.
Right. I mean, I kind of relate that to maybe the new Star Wars trailer that everyone was kind of reacting over. Like, oh my God, what's going on? It looks stupid, but I'm like, maybe you don't know what it's gonna really do until you actually watch it. So it's like,
Exactly. That's the nature
calm
of TV.
down. Don't get mad if the plot doesn't make sense. Like,
Chill out.
these things gotta play out. That's how it goes. And I think this time we're gonna do something different. I know last season we were talking like I forgot what show we were even doing. Yeah, we crossed and we kind of did a play-by-play of what happened in each episode. But we're gonna do something different. We're gonna do something called like I guess top 5 moments for each of us of the episode, and to kind of go along with that. And episode 2 is called Center of the World, and I'm gonna go with Skyline with you for your first top moment here.
Well, since you blatantly stole that opening from me, I'm going to go with my number one pick, and that was the Moonlight Stones and the Talismans. That seems to be a power source of some sort, kind of like a, Power Rangery kind of thing about, what is enabling the best, as it were, something like matcha green. And also to the same extent, Shigyo, her arch enemy, as it were.
Right,
And then
yeah.
by the end of the episode, it's kind of revealed that they've kind of got a plot thing happening, other than just kind of like rambling along the countryside on bikes. They kind of like, oh, we're going to go out and collect the moonstones, like Dragon Ball Z or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely see the plot actually finally there at the end, with the girls reveal at the end that she's gonna collect them. Like you said, they're gonna do something with that. But yeah, that was a
Hmm.
pretty good moment. For me, my first one would be the opening. I know last week, I mean, usually when anime premieres, it's usually the first episode doesn't have an opening. Usually it's the ending of that week, but we actually get to see the full opening this week, and it's actually pretty cool. I mean, it's like took it back to a little bit of like K-On! Like when they did. I know there's one opening or song they did that they're like driving around, I guess America or whatever, and playing music,
Uh,
and it
that would be
reminded me,
Fuwa time.
yeah, it reminded me of that. Just seeing that play out, and a little bit of Angel Beats when they have their live concerts. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
it kind of gives you if you just show the opening to someone, they'd think it's an idol anime if they
Yeah,
saw just
they'll
that.
probably do that.
Yeah.
I appreciated that they didn't have a cold open in front of it. That they just basically gave you that because it was so delightful to watch that unspool because it was unexpected like I said, not with just to come out to introduce the episode right like that without the cold open like they usually do.
Hmm.
So that was just it's like, oh wow, this is neat. This is a cute little toy I got now.
Yeah. All right. What's your next moment for you?
Um, at the very end, I will just jump around here. We're going for moments.
Okay.
Chiaya's unmasking. We saw her in the very beginning of the episode at the store. Buying dango, buying dumplings, and buying taiyaki, and buying whatever else they could deep fry. And she seemed kind of menacing at that point. But at the very end, it was revealed that she might be a childhood friend. She knew their childhood friend names and different stuff like that. So she's absolutely adorable, and she's a bit mysterious.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I definitely like that character. With her, with I guess my next one's that anyway. With her being unmasked, everyone else kind of knew about it. They kind of pieced the puzzles together of who she
Hmm.
was, I guess the clues. But the other girl, Nosy Me, whatever, didn't really know that, and she's kind of like freaked out. But through talking with her, and Maka Green kind of explained that, I don't understand why you didn't figure it out, or but I guess back in the day, I guess one of them tried to drown, I guess, to fake it so they could get Maka Green to come out and save her. But yeah, just that little backstory between the two was pretty interesting. And
Hmm.
I do remember reading someone's blog that they're not related. They're just, I guess really close. So they're not sisters or anything. Which is,
Well, they're not.
yeah,
Okay,
no, they're not. That's what I was reading.
that's interesting. That's an interesting little wrinkle.
Yeah, so I guess maybe like very close friends or maybe something else they reveal later on. So, but yeah, I guess you're up next.
I'm up next. The magical ramen rainbow attack.
That's pretty good.
when, when, when you when you beat on someone that has, I'm surprised Shigio didn't do the same herself. But when you beat on someone that just ingested 7 bowls of ramen, you got to expect a backlash, don't you?
Right, yeah, I mean, it's gonna eventually come back their way.
I mean, this is a series that became punctuated with those Sentai style attacks and all that. That was out of left field. I just didn't expect it.
Yeah, for me, I've come to see stuff like that before. Gintama does it a lot. If a character's gonna puke on screen, they will just rainbow the whole thing, and it
Yep.
looks hilarious. They like someone's like I don't know how to describe it, but like puking up like Lucky Charms or something. It's pretty yeah, pretty out there. So
Yeah, exactly. It's a thing that just tickles you, hits you the right way, makes you laugh a bit.
yeah,
Uh,
that's pretty funny. My next one for number four would be every character has like they weigh nothing in this series. There's a moment when I guess the two mains are just beating hell out of each other, and Inozumi kind of blacked out for a minute, and when she opens her eyes, she's like flying through the air with all her
yeah,
friends, and I was just like,
you know,
what the hell's going on? Like this,
uh, they're just used to it. They've trained. It's like kind of like training in a way, impromptu training to where if they're going to survive, in close quarters combat with the rest, they've got to learn to roll the punches, literally, even if that punch sends them like airborne.
yeah, definitely, it was kind of crazy. And at the same time, yeah, I was like
And
remembering anime physics. They don't really, no one really weighs anything in anime, so that's how it goes.
who needs it? Who needs it? It's
Right.
it's trivial.
Yep, I agree. Well, your next one?
Uh, I like how they brought up a bit of politics in the past and how that was kind of evolving around how you have all these disparate groups, but they all have the same goals. They want independence. They want the capacity to be able to protect themselves and the people they love. So it's not, in typical Japanese anime style, it's not setting up a good guy and a bad guy, kind of the Warriors, where it's like, the Warriors are the good guys and all the other punks out there in New York City are the bad guys. It's just like everyone has their own agenda, and it's not good, it's not bad, it's just the way it is. So that's something I like that they've done with that. There's no clear line in the sand between who's good and who's bad.
Yeah, I get a feeling for that from like when I watch Parasite sometimes. It's hard to judge which parasites out there are actually evil. You can tell off the bat when they
Hmm.
kill one, but like you have the main characters. They're kind of I guess in between both of them. They're
Hmm.
on the human side, the monster side, so it's like kind of interesting seeing that. And I like there's a lot of shows that do that, like you were just saying. They don't really, show you, oh, this guy's bad, this team's evil, but yeah. For one I missed up here, the roller coaster bit at the beginning. Oh my God, it was just watching them because they're like, oh, we're gonna fall to our deaths, but no, they I guess accelerate so fast they fly off the track and land on the other side. I was like, of course, anime, like that would never happen in real life, but and
I, I love
yeah,
I love that little gag. You've got to include this in whatever little picture slideshow you do of the little gag to where the one girl was trying to shove the ghost back into the other girl's
oh, that
mouth.
was pretty funny. I saw that. I was kind of laughing at that, and I was laughing kind of at that crocodile character too. Like he was doing everything he could to keep his mask on. I applaud him. He did keep his
Hmm.
mask on, so good job keeping your your stick together. It's pretty nice. And but
Yep.
anyway, they go through the track, and it's like they, as they're think they're gonna die, the track keeps changing on them on the fly, to the point where I think it's like 8 loop-de-loops back to back. I'm like, oh my God, it's insane. Which reminded me of like Roller Coaster
And
Tycoon,
they,
because you could do that too in that game.
yeah, they didn't even have shoulder bars for that. All they had was that crappy little roll bar in the front.
Right, because like one guy unlocked his, and all of them were kind of like flying off the track, and
Uh,
yeah, that
yeah.
was pretty funny. And then had Maka Green kind of jump in there and stop it with her bare hands. I'm like, wow. But then I was like, well, Spider-Man, that movie did the same thing. He stopped the whole train by himself,
Yep.
so I'm like, yeah, I can see that superhero thing. So it
Just
works.
stop. That's all you got to do. You have to know to call your attack very, very specifically.
Hmm. Definitely. And I guess your last one, and my last one.
Shugyo, she's an interesting character, not only because, like all great Japanese fighting characters, using some form of stationary or otherwise non-weaponable thing that becomes weaponized. And in this case, it's a safety clip, a huge safety clip. I'm really liking her character because I said, she's complex. She gives off that bad girl vibe, but you're not really convinced that she's necessarily a bad person. But, when she was in the midst of defeat after the ramen rainbow attack, she was encouraged not to remember her past. So I'm really, really wondering what's going on there.
Yeah, I was questioning that too. I think the girl
Mhm.
who wears that, I think she wears a hat next to her or whatever. She's kind of like, I want to say like a mediator. Like she's probably there to
Yeah,
watch her and make sure she doesn't remember. But yeah, it is kind of curious. Like, why would you be telling someone, don't remember your past? Like, isn't that
your past
kind of
is
important?
bad. Maybe it's something that would be Yukari Otonashi. I just looked it up. Yay, Google. But I mean, maybe she's the one that might hold a little bit of the power. Maybe she kind of reports back to Central or whoever administers these sorts of things. But that's an interesting little wrinkle that I want to see explored along with the rest of the plot.
Right, yeah, because they did show after because she was like a normal high school student, like you said, she found that stone thing and it kind of altered her personality a little bit, made
Hmm.
her more aggressive, and it looked like she was like enjoying fighting. She was starting to like enjoy the battles more and more, and
Well,
now you got her in the current time, I guess.
yeah, to the point it looked like the stone found her. So maybe that's something too.
Right, yeah. And the last thing I mentioned in mine was that when the best are defeated, I guess their mob group is kind of on break or temporarily disbanded. Because I know the other group with I think they all got kicked out of their mob group after she got. I guess because
Yeah,
they destroyed that amusement park and lost her. I guess well, they both got hurt pretty badly. So
I guess that whatever the Towers Treaty does kind of has some very specific rules that if you lose combat, you lose territory, you lose prestige, and you got to like go away for a while.
yeah, you even
But
lose
that gives
your
us
gem too.
yeah, and that gives us Hibiki Eye, the character with a uh, scandalously cut up jacket and bra.
Oh yeah, that girl. She was pretty good. Like
Yeah, she left one mob and she's now an independent operator going out on the road playing drums.
right, and I think that's what they would have set up. You know, these four girls are in even the opening. I think they're gonna form a group
Mhm,
because, again, like you just said, the other girl lost her mob group, and the main girl kind of same thing. She doesn't really have
mhm.
one right now because because of I guess Maka Green's out of commission. So it's like so now the plot I guess is gonna be around these four girls, maybe building up their own group here. It'd be kind of interesting.
That would be kind of interesting, especially if they collect all the magic talismans, all the moonstones, and everything like that.
Yeah, and I'm curious if they're gonna start using these stones, if they're gonna be able to use them, or maybe you really have to be quote unquote special to use them.
Yeah, they choose you or something along the lines of like. So we've got like K-On mixed with Gintama mixed with Dragon Ball Z. Is that sound about
It
accurate?
sounds about right, yeah, and then a little bit of Sailor Moon because we got these girls that are gonna save the world or whatever, but we don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I want to see I'm interested in seeing the other groups because the first episode kind of showed you like several groups around,
Hmm.
so it's like I want
Yep.
to see them. And there's also these giant robots in the background. I'm curious about. I'm like, who has access to those? Like, I want to see that group. You know.
Wasn't that a fake out? Wasn't that just a big balloon?
Yeah, one of them was, but they actually had like in that girl's flashback, there are actually some big old robots somewhere. I was like,
Oh yeah,
so
oh yeah, and in like the prologue of the first episode, there were big giant robots in the background that looked kind of like shut down. Like they ran out of power, they ran out of magic juice or whatever.
right, yeah, definitely. So I guess you guys see in the comments. Maybe tell us your favorite moments from the episode. Maybe you had one that we didn't really talk about, or stuff or maybe you're just gonna rag about, oh, this show is not very good, but it's fine. So.
Yes, go ahead and do that. I will tell you exactly how wrong you are.
Alright, well, I guess talk to you guys next time for more Rolling Girls.
Later on.